Hello and welcome to Essentials to Heal Yourself. I'm Laura Lee Humphreys. So today's conversation is going to be a continuation of the one we started last time, which is talking about the differences between a third dimensional reality system and mindset and a fourth dimensional reality system and mindset, which is where humanity is evolving and moving towards, should you so choose. So I'm taking this from one of my teachers, Penny Kelly. You can check her out at pennykelly.com and look through a lot of her teachings and her books and her videos and things. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and let's just dive into it. Okay, so we talked about last time one of the core differences in the third dimensional reality system, which is this first column, and the fourth dimensional reality system, which is this second column, is the fundamental premise or ethic of do no harm. Do no harm to yourself, to your body, to animals, to plants, to other people, to the environment. Just simply do no harm. And also looking at how we have been historically very warlike, very competitive, very aggressive. The competition gives rise to the sense of lack and limitation, which creates endless suffering. So when you can begin to identify some of these thought forms and beliefs and social conditionings and recognize that they no longer serve, then it becomes easier to drop them and adopt something new. You know, oftentimes because we don't have a vision or idea of what's possible, then it makes it very difficult to come out of crisis in difficult times, like what we're going through right now and what we've been going through for the last 2 or 3 years since the COVID lockdowns. There's so much chaos and destruction and things falling apart. And if that's all you can see, then it makes for a very difficult time because you don't know how to get through it. You don't know how to respond to it. All you can see is this destruction coming at you, and then you feel all anxious and fearful of what's this going to do to me. Okay, so if you have an idea of what other things are possible, of what the destiny of humanity is, the potential of what we can achieve and grow towards, it gives you a ray of hope on the horizon that things don't have to be so miserable and bleak. It gives you a path forward of something to shoot for. And as you do that, then you can let go and leave behind the thought forms and situations that are toxic and causing you harm, and gives you hope for a better future, a better tomorrow, which goes a long ways in being able to stay healthy, to get healthy, to take better care of yourself. Okay. So in this first column, this idea of, in the third dimensional reality system, of you have to do it all by yourself. You have to be the Lone Ranger, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. No one is going to come save you. No one's going to come help you. And in one way, then that can be a good thing, and that teaches you strength and autonomy and individualization. At the same time, it can also encourage victimization, because you feel like you're entitled or someone is supposed to come save you, that there's supposed to be a big daddy that's going to give you paychecks your whole life and feed you, like Social Security and big government and big corporation. So this can go two ways, or this kind of has it's a double-edged sword. But the root of this, as compared to the mindset of a fourth dimensional reality system, is in that system, the mindset is about individuals. Yes, you do have your identity and your personality, but you work within a team and a group, collaborating, working together, cooperating together for a unified outcome or result of things. Okay. Whereas typical in our society, then it's a dog eat dog world. Nobody's out to help you. And so you have to like push and struggle and scrape by and claw your way up the hill, so to speak, to just eke out a bare living and survival. that's very stressful. It doesn't have to be that way. And it reflects an inverted thinking of how life is, and that people are not nice, people are not friendly, they're not there to support you. And if that's a worldview that you have or that people have, then there's going to be a huge amount of suffering and agony. Okay, so if you've lived through that, if you've adopted that mindset, I encourage you to begin loosening that and letting it go, and begin cultivating deeper trust in other people and the fact that people are good, they're helpful. There are those that are willing to help, provided you work equally, participate equally in the group, in whatever team or environment that you're with. So it's like each person has to carry their own weight, so that there's no parasiting off of the others and expecting others to feed them and be their nurse daddy and their nurse mommy. But everybody pulls their weight. Everybody comes together as equal adult whole individuals, and they support each other. Okay, so you can see the difference between the different mindsets here, which leads to the next one of victim mentality versus personal responsibility. If your worldview is that you have to do everything by yourself, that nobody's out going to help you, it fosters and cultivates or nurtures a victim mindset, that you have to do everything by yourself, or that you're helpless, that there's nobody, that everybody's out to get you, or they're predators, or you're out there hanging in the wind by yourself, that you're helpless, that you're powerless. Okay, as opposed to taking personal responsibility of recognizing you have the ability to take care of yourself, to do what you need to do to make a living, or support yourself, take care of yourself and your loved ones, that you have the ability and the responsibility to take care of your health, to take care of your mindset, to take care of your emotional health, to heal yourself, not expect your doctor to do it for you, not expecting a magic pill, drug, or surgery to do it for you. That's a codependent, victim, helpless mentality. There's a lot I can say here, but it's about taking personal responsibility and ownership, stepping into your own power, acknowledging and recognizing that you are a powerful being that has resources. You can be resourceful to figure things out. Okay, you don't have to have a big mommy or daddy coming to do it for you and taking care of you all your life. Okay, so the next item on the list is, in the third dimensional reality system, confined to the planet. And this has to do with a lot of the technological advancement of the society or the civilization versus fourth dimensional reality system, which is interplanetary. They've developed technologies that allows them to get off the planet and travel to the stars. They've learned advanced physics of how to move through energy and plasma and time and space, and how to live in a very different way, so they're not confined to a planet. Whereas in our third dimensional reality system, we are, because we have not chosen thus far to mature ourselves emotionally and spiritually, such that we all agree as a collective to do no harm. We've not yet agreed collectively to work cooperatively together and in harmony with life, in harmony with natural principles and laws of how life and nature is structured. And until cultures and civilizations are willing to step into that mindset of do no harm, of nurturing and honoring life and working in harmony with natural law, they will not be able to develop or use the technologies that will get them off the planet. Instead, they would want to do like what our civilization is doing, using technologies to blow up and destroy everything that touches. That is not allowed. To go, if you go off the planet, in order to go off the planet, you cannot carry such aggressive, warlike mindset and destroy all the life that's out there in the cosmos. They will not allow it. And yes, there are other beings and life forms littering the cosmos everywhere. We are not alone. So this has to do with a lot of the emotional, spiritual, mental maturity of a civilization in order to wield and develop advanced technologies. Next, or similarly unaware of other dimensions. So in third dimensional reality system, and we think that we are all alone, or that we have been taught to believe that we're all alone, that there's no other dimensions, no other life forms, no other levels of consciousness, which also means that there's this idea that plants and animals don't have their own expression of consciousness. Therefore, you can do whatever you want to them and rape and pillage and destroy the environment. Whereas in the fourth dimensional reality system, they interact with those people or beings on in a third dimensional reality system, as well as in the fifth dimensional reality system, because they understand that there is more to life than just them, that the cosmos is filled with life forms. In a third dimensional reality system, it's relatively dark, we depend on outside electrical energy and batteries for any forms of light other than the sun. There is a deep or a very strong dominant oppressiveness and non-allowance of technologies that are free energy technologies. There's thousands of technologies and patents of technologies that would heal and make life better and give us free energy and different types of energies and modes of transportation that certain groups in the government and certain special interest groups will not allow the masses of people to have, so that they can make money charging us for use of power and electricity and heating and everything every month. So another way to enslave people is through the power grid. Whereas in a fourth dimensional reality system, then they generate their own partial light. They use both outside electrical energy as well as other forms of energy and free energy that's always on, that doesn't cast shadows. It's very soft, the brightness of about a 50-watt light bulb. So they have different forms of technologies, free energy, technologies that allow them to draw energy out of the ethers, out of the quantum field, the cosmic soup, if you want to call it, out of the environment, out of the natural energy system of the earth herself, to fuel and run and power technologies, or even self-generating technologies that are self-generated, that can generate their own power to run. So there's an allowance to explore and invent and create those types of technologies. Whereas in our third dimensional reality system, that is all suppressed and repressed. And a lot of the inventors and scientists who developed things like that over the last 100 or so years, then there will be certain people in dark suits that come off making the offers to buy their technologies, or corporations and military defense contractors who will come offer to buy those technologies off of the inventors, and then they are stored away in a dark warehouse and never seen again. And they've also killed people for their inventions because the establishment doesn't like what they did. That goes against their money-making schemes of charging you for everything. All right, that's another side topic. Third dimensional reality system focuses almost entirely on the past, and they believe they cannot see the future. This feeds into the victim mindset, that you're helpless, you can't do anything, that you don't have the resources or ability to change your life circumstances. You're entirely focused on the past because you've not resolved and healed and dealt with the emotional traumas and unfinished emotional business from past relationships and experiences that were, abusive and traumatic and destructive. Hence, stop being so destructive. for our society. As opposed to fourth dimensional reality systems, they focus on the present. They are here now, focused on what they're doing, what they're creating, how they're living to improve their quality of life. And they can see various possible future outcomes based upon their choices here in the now and the moment. They're not obsessed with the past because there's no trauma there anymore. There's no unfinished business. They're not carrying around old baggage. Unlike so many of us in third dimensional reality system, so many people don't know how to let go of the emotional baggage and resolve the past traumas and make peace with it and move on. Our culture does not encourage it. It does not teach us in the main how to deal with our emotional traumas. And so we're constantly living in the past, which only throws the past forward into your future. And so you are stuck in a loop, reliving your past patterns, recreating the past again and again and again. Perfect example is look at the type of relationships that you've attracted to your life. How many of them have been same person, different face? Same pattern, same type of relationship issues, just with a different person. That's a prime example of living in the past and throwing it forward into your future and recreating it over and over again. In the third dimensional reality system, clothing is laborious and to make and to clean and to repair and doesn't often fit well and doesn't last very long. Whereas in the fourth dimensional reality system, then it's made in a very different way. It fits very comfortably. It's self-cleaning, and each fourth dimensional civilization or group has their own characteristic and style of clothing. And oftentimes the way that the clothing is made, the types of fabric, the types of understanding of energy and how to weave energies and frequencies into that fabric makes the clothing very supportive of health and healing, and keeps the person energized, comfortable, and more healthy, encourages more longevity and health. Okay, third dimensional reality system. The actions are done as if they have mechanical effects only. So it's only tools are only to create like a wooden bowl or a piece of pottery or a car or some other physical thing, some other physical form. Whereas in a fourth dimensional reality system, actions are done as if they have both mechanical effects and symbolic energetic impacts, which they do. So again, there's an understanding and an education of energy, of plasma, of the fact that energy is everything. Everything is formed of energy. All matter is energy at a certain vibrating or a certain frequency, vibrating at a certain frequency. So when you understand energy and you learn how to work with it, then how you make things change, because you're doing it infused with that wider understanding of energy and how the energy impacts the environment and the people that are around that thing. It's a very different type of working with material, or different mindset and working with materials and making things. And again, it's all around supporting and nurturing life, living in harmony with natural law, of doing things that support people and their well-being and their health, instead of doing everything possible to poison people, to break them down, to make them sick, which is the culture that we are living in. Okay, lastly, in a third dimensional reality system, we create huge amounts of waste. Just go look at the landfills. Look at the consumeristic mentality of just buy, spend. Constantly buying cheap crap from China and Taiwan to use it 3 times only to throw them away. It's a huge amount of waste. Massive amount of crap ended up in the landfill, which doesn't do any favors for the environment. And all the pollution is put into the waterways and into the ocean. Massive amounts of waste and garbage. Again, without thinking about consequences, without realizing that the earth is alive, that the earth is conscious, without giving any thought to how all of this waste is damaging plant life, animal life, bird life, aquatic life, your own life. Okay. Look at how you're doing. Look at how you live and how much waste you generate, how much stuff you throw away. And see if there's things that you can do differently. Take steps to reduce the amount of plastic in your environment. Okay, fourth dimensional reality system. Seek to reduce waste or reuse all material. There is a value of cleanliness and orderliness, of not living in a junkyard, which often ties back to a sense of self-respect and self-dignity and self-esteem, of honoring and valuing you as an entity, as an individual, as you in your life, honoring your life, honoring your environment, caring about yourself enough to create a beautiful environment with as much as you can that's clean and orderly, without a lot of clutter and crap and waste, which is really just a physical manifestation of unresolved emotional issues. Look at how you're living. Are you living in squalor? Are you living in filth? How long has it been since the last time you cleaned your house? Organize yourself. Throw out the excess garbage and stuff that you don't use, and vow to not bring in so much unnecessary garbage, unnecessary things that are only used once and then they're thrown away. How can you reuse and recycle and use different articles in your day-to-day living that don't require them to be thrown away after the second or third time you touch them or use them? Okay, a lot of different things that in total culminate in a mindset of whether or not you create sickness or health for yourself, whether or not you are in an environment, physical environment, emotional environment, mental environment that produces disease, whether or not you choose foods that will poison you, whether or not you will choose body care products and cleaning products in your home that will poison you and cause disease, or whether or not you're going to honor yourself, treat yourself in a much more loving manner, to care enough to want to change, to care enough to want to let go of a lot of this mindset that keeps you stuck in third dimensional mindset and reality systems that engender disease. So I hope this conversation today and the descriptors has sparked some ideas, inspired you to make some changes of how are you thinking? How are you caring for yourself? How are you living? Are you producing disease unintentionally? Become aware. That's a huge part in healing yourself, to make different choices, to structure your life such that it supports life, honors the processes of life instead of the processes of destruction and disease. Which one do you choose? Which one do you hold more loyalty to? Not just in the immediate instant, well, of course, yeah, Lauralee, but deep down, the deeper thoughts, the deeper patterns and habits of how you've been doing your lifestyle that reveal the deeper values that you hold for yourself, whether that is health producing or disease producing. So I hope this conversation inspired you. As I said, please check out Pt.2.com, learn about her books, her videos. I will leave the link to her website below in the description for this video. And I would love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear what this conversation sparked for you and things that you would like to do differently that you, as a result of this conversation. And as always, I have a special gift for you, a downloadable gift. It's a PDF that talks about what it really takes to heal yourself, 4 different aspects of yourself that you need to look at and to address. So you can find the link to download that also below with the description of this video. So love to hear your thoughts. Please comment and share this video around. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.